Antiqology started with a vision from Adam and I to become a bigger part of our community. We wanted to find a way that we could build a business that would allow us to interact with the people in our community, to bring people from out of the area into Huntington, to help be a part of revitalizing downtown, all while being able to support our family. And so we started exploring, what would it look like to do something a little bit different. Everybody loves ice cream, so that's automatically going to be a draw. And so how could we bring several things together that would be, unique and different? And so the soda and the ice cream naturally seem to go together. You think back to an old soda fountain or an old pharmacy or an old general store and the things that you would have found there. We felt like to get people from multiple generations and of multiple interest facets, we needed to offer multiple things.
Ultimately what we're selling, we sell a lot of ice cream, we sell a lot of soda, we sell a decent amount of antiques, but when you throw those all together, it creates that experience.
Owning a small business is awesome and challenging. As far as our work day is concerned, because we're together all the time, it kind of flows throughout our day. So over morning coffee, we're talking about, what do we have for that day? What deliveries need to be made? What do we have coming up this week? And, those kinds of things.
There's production side of things with making soda and kegging soda and stuff like that, that you've got a production schedule that you try to follow and get stuff done on time for customers. But it really depends on each day. I think every day is different for us, and that's good.
When you put your whole entire life, your time and energy into investing in something, you are very protective of it and you care a lot about it, and it means everything to you because it's your livelihood and all of those things. You want to share the passion that you have for what you're doing with other people, and sometimes that's received really well and sometimes people don't understand you at all.
And that is definitely challenging, but it's also rewarding when somebody comes in and says, I don't feel like I'm in Huntington, Indiana. I feel like I'm in New York City, or your shop is amazing, and I can't wait to come back, or I can't wait to tell so-and-so about this shop. That's also really rewarding.
So we've been looking for a bottling line and a facility to do the bottling in. And we really were in kind of a turmoil, like not a bad turmoil, but just like we didn't want to put the cart before the horse. And so we were back and forth. Do we buy the bottling line without having anywhere to put it? Or do we buy a building without having a bottling line? Because either way we knew the investment was going to be large. And so we didn't want one to be sitting empty or still without having the other.
We've always been looking for a space that we could, when we got a bottling line, where would that bottling line go that people can see it being done? And obviously, it can't be done in this building. I mean, we have hard enough time getting people in this building. Let alone, a massive bottling line. So
the theater space, we were close with the people who owned it, and they were transitioning out of that. And so he started pursuing the bottling line around the same time that the people who own the theater approached us and said, look, we're ready to deal. Like, we want you guys to have this space. We know that if anybody's going to do something good for Huntington with this space, you guys are the ones. Can we come to an agreement? Can we negotiate and talk about this? A deal that will make both of us happy. And so we did, and we were able to get the bottling line. And
it all fell together within
weeks.
We're the crazy ones who thought, let's go move a bottling line from Southern Virginia back up to Huntington ourselves. So we drove down and we moved this large bottling line into the back of a truck and brought it back to Huntington, and closed on a property, closed on the theater, within a week or so of getting the line back, and everything was just falling into place. Like, this is great.
We bought it, and then about 30 days later, not quite 30 days later, we made a press release that, disclosed that we were the ones who had purchased it, and that we were looking forward to putting our bottling line in there, and to be watching for new things to come. And that was on a Friday. And then Monday morning, my phone rang, and a fellow downtown business owner alerted me that a semi-truck had just run right through our marquee. And so here we are. Months have gone by. Insurance company doesn't want to pay to fix it. We are now in the middle of a lawsuit because we can't get them to do what is right. We are delayed in doing everything that we should be doing, including producing our own product, to the tune of thousands of dollars more to have someone else just put it in a bottle for us. We can't do anything to the front of the building, and it looks awful, and we know that, but we're looking at over $250,000 in damage just to the marquee. And we're stuck.
I think, with the theater project and with what we've learned over the last 6 or 7 years, is you can plan all day long, and you can have this plan, and you can have it on paper, and you can have it, it's everything you plan, and that plan in just a moment can change. And that's been hard, because I think we are both planners. We're always planning 6, 8, a year in advance, even 5 years in advance. And so my advice to other small business owners is, don't stop planning, but when your plan doesn't work out like the way you think it's going to work out, to be adaptive, because you can maybe this plan that you had doesn't work out, but maybe from that plan you become something more.
It's interesting when you keep pursuing, and when you keep trying, and when you keep pushing. Eventually you might get the result that you want, but you can't just stop when it doesn't work your way the first time. Just say, okay, I'll take a different route, and I'll get there eventually, because you know what's best for your business, but sometimes you have to take a side road.
And I think, just in general, we've been quoted several times as definitely changing the craft soda industry. And that's been a huge thing for us. Clearly we sell craft soda. It's a big part of what we do. But to be said that we've impacted the entire industry, and the way that we do things, has been a huge honor. We work really hard every day to bring awareness, and I think you'll see that simply by just going to your local grocery store. You're going to see glass bottled soda. You didn't see that 5 years ago, and so there's definitely a momentum for craft, I think, in all things, but even in soda. So that's been huge. We get a lot of calls from a lot of magazines and a lot of articles, and people want quotes all the time about craft soda, and so that says that we're doing something right, and that's been a huge honor as well. So.